the question paper is little bit tough. Only 10 questions were from PYQs. So if you have utilized the strategies that we have discussed in the class, then it will be easy for you. And there are 2-3 questions where that strategies can go wrong. Okay, so let's start the discussion. First question. Consider the following statements. Net investments includes all the capital goods that are produced in a year. True or false? True or false? These two statements are taken directly from NCERT. UPSC has a habit of asking questions directly from NCERTs. So, if you have read NCERT properly, you will get this right. So, what is the first statement? Is it true or false? Why is it false? Gross investment. So, here it is given as net investment includes all the capital goods that are produced in a year. So, there it is. So, all the capital goods that are produced in a year are not counted in net investment because some are utilized on the account of depreciation. See, previously we have been using so many capital goods. Some will go out of service. So, in order to replace that, the capital goods produced in a year, we will use some of the capital goods that are produced in a year to replace those already existing capital goods. So, all those goods will not go into net investment. So, the first statement is false. Okay. Then inventories are treated as capital. True or false? True. So, the answer is 2 only. Siriyayo. Okay, next question. So, this is from current affairs and it is a recent one. Consider the following statements regarding household consumption expenditure survey. See, look, recently the finance minister has presented interim budget only and there is no economic survey. So, usually they used to ask one question from budget or survey. So, this year we cannot expect a question from those two documents. So, these type of questions can come. These type of questions because it is going to make impact in our consumer price index, this survey. So, it is going to affect the whole of India. So, you need to study about this household consumption expenditure survey. First statement is it is published by Ministry of Finance annually. What's your opinion? What no? Is it ministry or is it annually? Annually. So, what do you think? Year, monthly, quarterly, biannually? That's cool. Not in 2007, it's 2011, I think. There is no proper time period for publishing this one. So, the recent one was published recently and I think that was after 10 or 11 years. So, there is no annually point in that. And also the ministry is also wrong. So, it's a survey. So, we have a separate ministry, MOSPI, to conduct all these surveys. So, this household consumption expenditure survey is carried out by MOSPI, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. So, the first statement is wrong. What about the second one? The data is used for updating consumer price inflation baskets. Yes, because I have already told that. Then as per recent survey, rural households show a sharper growth in spending. See, when you are in the exam hall, you will take this statement in a contrary way. See, you will think that rural households show a sharper growth in spending. So, we are a rural economy and നമ്മൾ വിശ്വസിക്കത്തില്ല. Rural households are spending more. So, is it true or false? False. It's true. That's why I told you there are some statements which are confusing, which can go in the opposite way of our strategies. The difference between average monthly per capita consumption expenditure gap at the rural and urban areas is bigger at the top of the income pyramid. What is that? We have an income pyramid. എന്നുവെച്ചാൽ കുറഞ്ഞ വേതനം കിട്ടുന്നവർ ആയിരിക്കും ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ. So they will be at the bottom of the pyramid. When you go to the top of the pyramid, people will earn more. So the gap at the top is big. The gap is bigger at the top when you compare the income of rural and urban areas. Is it true or false? It's true. The gap is more at the top. That is, wealthier becomes wealthier, and the poorer becomes poorer. That's it. So any three is the right answer. How many of you got it right? Only 3 people. Next one is also from NCERT. How many of the following can be considered transfer payments? So just not how many NCERT questions are wrong for you. Okay, wrong. The first one was NCERT, this is also NCERT. Look at what are transfer payments. Gift. Okay, gift is a kind of transfer payment. Then pensions. So basically, what is the definition of transfer payment? It's properly defined in the NCERT. That's it. See, you are getting payment. You are not giving any goods or services. Still, you are getting payment. Okay. നമ്മൾ അങ്ങോട്ടൊന്നും കൊടുക്കാതെ ഇങ്ങോട്ട് കിട്ടുന്നു. Social security pensions. Social security pensions received by elderly persons. See, they are not providing any service or they are not providing any good. Still, government is paying them. That is transfer payment. So, grants received by university students of a state from central government. True. Because those are grants. Grants are always transfer payments. These social security pensions and all are transfer payments. Then gift. Then remittances from your relatives. Okay, so when you look at that, 1 is transfer payment, 2 is transfer payment, 3 is transfer payment. 4th one, what about that? Direct benefit transfer of minimum support price, MSP. Is it a transfer payment? Why? Because you are providing goods. You are providing rice or wheat or anything. So that's not a transfer payment. അങ്ങോട്ട് എന്തെങ്കിലും വിറ്റിട്ട് അതിൻ്റെ കാശാടെ കിട്ടുന്നത്. So that's not a transfer payment. So 4th one is wrong. Money given by central governments to state governments to complete centrally sponsored schemes. That's also false. Because they are providing a service. Right? Okay. So the answer is any 3. എത്ര പേർക്ക് കിട്ടി? Impressive. So the next one, consider the following statement, statement 1 and 2. In general, a country whose aggregate demand grows faster than the rest of the world normally finds its currency depreciating. And statement 2 is, a hike in interest rate at the home often leads to an increase in aggregate demand. This is also an NCERT question. കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ടാവത്തില്ലല്ലോ? അതാണ്. So first statement says, in general, a countries whose aggregate demand. What is this aggregate demand? While taking classes, I have told you, just by heart the basic definitions. That is what is needed to crack the prelims with respect to economics. Just understand the basic definition of each and every word. What is aggregate demand? You know demand. Then what is aggregate demand? It's clearly mentioned in your NCERTs. It's the total demand of goods and services in an economy. That is aggregate demand. So then, now look at the statement. In general, a country whose aggregate demands grows faster than the rest of the world normally finds its currency depreciating. When you get a statement, crack it, get into the basics of that question, then solve it. So here, the statement is, when aggregate demands grows faster than the rest of the world, the home country's currency is depreciating. How can it happen? Think. What happens if aggregate demands grows faster than the rest of the world? Value of what will decrease? How? പറ എൽസബത്ത് പറ, കറക്റ്റാ പറഞ്ഞു വരുന്നത്, പറ. That's it. When the demand increases, it cannot be met with domestic supply. So you need to import. Whenever you need to import something, the demand for foreign currency increases, right? Because you need dollar to make the import payments. അല്ലേ? See, നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടിലെ ഡിമാൻഡ് അത്ര ഹൈ ആയിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ what will happen? It cannot be met with local supply. So we will go for imports. If you want to import something, you need to pay them in dollars. For October batch, last class we പഠിപ്പിച്ച. In that case, the demand of dollar will increase. With respect to Indian rupee, the demand of dollar will increase. So what is that? Currency appreciation or currency depreciation? That's depreciation. So statement 1 is correct. You need to think in this way. If the aggregate demand is very high, you need to import because it cannot be met with local supply. Whenever you are importing, you need to pay in dollars, and then correspondingly the demand for dollar will increase. Hence, rupee will depreciate. Come to the next statement. A hike in interest rate at home often leads to an increase in aggregate demand. What happens if the interest rate in India increases? Will it lead to an increase or decrease in aggregate demand? How? Decrease how? So when the interest rate increases, people will deposit the money in the bank, right? So it will not be added to the investment angle. So investment will get reduced. അല്ലേ? നമ്മുടെ കയ്യിൽ നല്ല പലിശ കിട്ടുമ്പോൾ we will invest in bank or we will deposit it in bank. അല്ലേ? ബാങ്കിൽ നല്ല പലിശ കിട്ടിക്കോളൂ എന്ന് കരുതിയിട്ട് ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ്മെന്റിലേക്ക് പോകേണ്ട ഈ പൈസയാണ് we are depositing in the bank. So consequently what will happen? Industries will not produce more. So the demand will decrease. So answer is statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Okay, next one. What kind of taxation makes disposable income and thus consumer spending less sensitive to fluctuations in GDP? This is also an NCERT question. Same, pakka same statement. Just decode each part. Taxation makes disposable income less sensitive to fluctuations in GDP. So you have progressive, proportional, regressive, and the last one is a cooked up taxation. There is no such retrogressive taxation. There is a word retrogressive, but not a form of taxation. Okay. നമുക്ക് 4 ഓപ്ഷൻ ഇടുന്നതുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ ഉണ്ടാക്കി എഴുതി തരണോ? So what is your answer? Proportional. അല്ലേ? If your income increases, you will be taxed proportionally. So your disposable income will get reduced. As a result, you will not spend more. So that is proportional taxation.